Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm Peaches, and I want to welcome you to my channel today. Now, this year has been difficult to garden. The weather is so unpredictable, so this is why I'm indoors filming this little intro right now. It is like 90 degrees outside, and the moment I step outside, I'm just drenched in sweat, and my hair, it's super curly, but it would end up looking like a huge fro. Like back in the 70s I looked like this, and then in the 80s I looked like this. But anyways, that is why I'm indoors recording this right now. But this video, I want to keep this short and sweet. Now, fall is amongst us already, guys. So I am getting ready to plant my fall vegetables already. So as you'll see in the video, we've been eating on our fall vegetables that I planted way back in August of 2025. And they've lasted this long, especially your Swiss chards and my kales. I know the kales will go to seed, but if you just cut off the flower tops, they will continue to grow. Now there is bug damage, obviously, but if you don't pull the roots up, they will come back. So my kale plants are looking lovely right now because I guess all the butterflies are super full and they're tired of eating all my vegetables. So I'm happy about that. So I'm getting ready. I won't have to plant any kale this year, but I will have to maybe plant some more Swiss chard because we really love our Swiss chard. So we'll have to plant some more of those, some cabbages, that kind of thing. A lot of more leafy greens this year. I'm gonna try planting a lot more lettuces because I don't really plant a lot of lettuces because we eat a lot of Swiss chard and we use that in our salads. So I just wanted to hop on here and say hello to everyone and let everyone know I'm still here and alive, and I pray that all of you guys are doing well. Now, every year, but since I started my cottage gardening and really turning our property into a huge cottage garden, sort of like a botanical garden theme, and each year I want to incorporate a new flower. So this year I decided to do hollyhocks, and I planted my hollyhocks by seed. And it did say that I won't get any flowers till the following year, but oh my goodness, I'll let you just see in the video the little surprise that I had. Now, I also wanted to let you know that hollyhocks are edible. I didn't know that. So I've been doing a lot of research on the hollyhocks and just the type of medicinal uses. You can use some of the leaves as spinach because they taste like spinach, and they actually do, because I sauteed some of the leaves in onions, and it does taste like spinach. And the flowers can be used in salad, different things like that. So just do your own research when you're dealing with sort of like a medicinal type of flower like calendula and like the hollyhocks and echinacea, those kind of things. And I'm getting a lot more into the herbs, especially my mints. I've been growing a lot more different mints. I think I have like 8 mints growing right now in the garden. May have a little bit more. Yeah, I do have more. It's like 9 because there's a spearmint that just comes up all the time, and it's just takes over my garden. But anyways, I just want to hop on here and say hello to everyone and hope you enjoy the video. Happy gardening and God bless. Okay guys, so we're gonna start off right here, and I would call this my kitchen garden. There's a raised bed right here. Well, actually, let's start off right here. This is my kale. I call it my kale tree. This is just curly kale, and it's still going strong, and this is like June the 9th. I'm gonna spray it with some water in here because I see where we have a little bit of bug damage. But then I also have these tomatoes. Now, I thought these were bigger tomatoes, but you never know what you get sometimes in these seeds packets. So these tomatoes look like more like a grape tomato, and that's okay because I love grape tomatoes. They're actually my favorite. Hey Gray, what are you doing over here? Gray, baby Gray. And then that's her rabbit right over there. Okay, so this is my beanstalk. I call this giant beanstalk because I do not like the beans that come out of this, but because they turn so quickly and before you can harvest them, and these strings are really tough. So these are the greasy grit beans, and so I just let them go to, I guess you could say seed, or not really seed, but the beans inside, I harvest those. And for beans that you can like boil, just like pinto beans, yada yada yada. So that's what this is. And I pulled this plant like a million times, and it comes back every year. I have to do nothing, and this is how big it is. Okay, so basically my kale plant is doing really well, so I'm gonna harvest some of these a little later, but because it's kind of warm out, I'm gonna wait till the end of the harvest because I don't want the leaves to wilt. Then over here we have beautiful dahlias that are growing. I want to show you these yellow dahlias, and this is like a starlight dahlia, but these dahlias are really pretty. Right across the kitchen garden, I have kale growing and peppers and lots of strawberries. We've harvested so many strawberries this spring, and I have my composting bag here where we just put all the stuff that's going bad inside of here. Then we dump it in the woods in our composting piles. So usually when I harvest, I also have a bag here that I can dump things into. There's also a raised bed on the other side. So there's a raised bed here and one right here. Now, the other day I harvested mostly all the squash because I gave some to neighbors, and we also have some. So I'm gonna do a little voiceover here because there's just way too much background noise, and I'm learning a lot more about herbalism and how to use herbs as medicine. And right here are my mint leaves, and I think I'm growing about 8 different types of mint leaves. Right here is my China Jade cucumber, and I have to say this is becoming my favorite cucumber. The China Jade cucumbers are super crispy and sweet, and they grow about 12 inches long, sometimes longer. So I try to check out my plants every morning for signs of bug damage or eggs that have been laid by the squash. And right here, I'm cutting out these eggs and throwing them in the garbage, not in the compost, but actually in the garbage. And I am growing this cucumber in 3 different places of the garden, so that makes it nice as well. This cabbage right here is absolutely gorgeous, and it's super huge. Unfortunately, some animal decided to take a huge bite out of it, so I had to just give it to the chickens. Now, growing right in this same large raised bed are my carrots, and this one right here started to flower, so I'm going to harvest this one first, but this was my best year for carrots. Because we had so much rain, I came over here and did a detour so I can make sure I tie up all my cut flowers. And this right here is a zinnia bed. And I want to make sure that I tie these back. And right across from there is another zinnia bed that's actually planted in the ground. And so it's growing really nicely. And these are dahlias right here. And more dahlias. I'm going to have to tie these up a little bit better. I'll show you in a minute how I use the string and just get them all tied up. And then here's another zinnia bed. I I've been pulling up the zinnias and planting them in different areas of my garden. And there's a third zinnia bed down there. Then in the middle here, some more zinnias and more dahlias. And then that row right here is more dahlias and zinnias. And I think these dahlias right here are just so beautiful. Look, these are like dinner plate dahlias. Look how big they are. They're so gorgeous. What? So I planted all my leafy greens in the fall of 2025. That is spinach, cabbage, kale, Swiss chard, all types of leafy greens, and they have lasted throughout the spring of 2026. We're still enjoying them. And then also in the summer, now my kale did bolt a little bit, but I was able to cut off the tops when they start to bolt, and they do just fine. Now, the things I have to worry about the kale are the bugs. So I did harvest a ton of kale, chop it all up, and put it in the freezer. Well, I'm really thankful and grateful that Vegogarden reached out and gifted me this beautiful raised bed greenhouse cover system, and I can't wait to get it installed. I laid all the pieces out, and I was determined to get this put together in one day. The sun was going down, but it didn't matter. The instructions were super easy. Now, this is a 4 by 8 foot bed, and I think it's about 27 inches tall. So this bed is massive, and I think it's one of the larger beds I have in my garden. So I was so happy for my hubby to come and give me a hand in getting this bed all ready for the fall. In my next video, I'll show you how we get this all planted out. As I mentioned earlier, this year, 2026, was my best year for carrots, and I was able to harvest on 3 separate occasions. And we eat a lot of carrots around here. Our dog eats carrots in his meals because we make him homemade meals. Our chickens eat carrots as well. And we love eating them for breakfast and lunch and dinner, depending on which meal we eat. We normally just eat about 1 huge meal a day, but with that meal, we do like to enjoy carrots. So I'm so happy that we're able to harvest so many this year, and I'm going to be planting more for the fall. Okay guys, so this is a July the 6th, and we've been getting a lot of thunderstorms, little rain, but lots of thunderstorms, so it's really hard to get out here because like no one wants to get struck by lightning. We do get some rain with it, but I'm going to go ahead and harvest these tomatoes. These are, I believe, grape tomatoes right over here, and at the end over here, these are giant tomatoes. Look how big those are. You can see that. I'm not sure the name of these, but maybe I'll find them for you. But we're gonna harvest all of these today. We'll do that anyways. And I need to harvest some leafy greens as well for the kitchen because we're all out of leafy greens right now. So we're gonna go ahead and harvest some more leafy greens today. The ground cherries are abundant this year, but I only had time for a small harvest due to the storms, just in time to make homemade stovetop jam. Now my French cottage garden that leads to my vegetable garden is really starting to take shape, and I'm loving all the perennials and also the annuals with lots of color, the hydrangeas, the arborvitaes, and the sunpatiens that are right there in the front. Now each year I want to grow something beautiful from seed and add it to my cottage garden, and this year I chose hollyhocks. As I'm potting up these hollyhock seeds, I was a little disappointed because I read the seed packet again and it said I wouldn't see blooms until next year. They are perennials, so I was okay with that. Now, I love birthday surprises, and this hollyhock blooming early just felt like God was just smiling down upon me. So now that it's the beginning of August and my hollyhocks are doing super fabulous, I'm going to be planting out more seeds to try and get them in the ground so that I can have lots of flowers next year. So I've been slowly developing different areas around the garden, and right here is our driveway area that we're turning into a living courtyard with cottage style plantings, perennials, using arborvitaes, hydrangeas, and also a few annuals.